Hi, welcome to Paris here. We are working on Plasma and the video is going to be about ArcoLinuxD. We just made one for LXQt, LXQT, right? And I'm gonna make one for Mate installation. Installation of ArcoLinuxD Mate. You can have beautiful setups. We all see them in social media, right? And the thing is, the theming and the tweaking probably gonna be 90% of our fun, right? But in the end, of course, we have to browse something, watch something, and read our mail and so on. But we'd like to have that in a beautiful system. And anything goes. Anything is possible on ArcoLinux. Now, in this video, I want to also explain that we have 4 options in ArcoLinux to install any desktop. And starting with option 4 is often the easiest ways to explain, because every system we have out there, if ArcoLinux Tweak Tool is installed, you press Ctrl-Alt-E and it launches the Tweak Tool, and that's the easiest way to install a desktop on your system. 20 desktops on your system. The thing is, somebody just asked me on YouTube, you got to choose yourself. I'm not gonna give recommendations and advice. It's watch some videos about Awesome or DWM and so on, so you feel okay, this is something for me or not my workflow, right? It's entirely up to you. And we're going to install Mate now. So it's super easy, and that's what we call super flexible. The super flex, we check out some of the articles. But basically you start with any ArcoLinux and even an ArcoLinux and just click, installed. Now there are other ways. There's also the option 3, install the desktop using ArcoLinuxB. I think by then you know already what you want, right? You have a selection of desktops. You go to the downloads. Let's have a look. Do I have the downloads? Let's go there. And you decide, what do I want to have? And that's one thing. One thing is to download, like Mate. We're talking about Mate. Let's have a look. Right? 59, but never correct. 67. People downloaded Mate. But it's just not the only source, right? We have sources here, seed host, so we don't have statistics on this one. But the thing is that the B is actually created to give you the power to build your own ISO. The point is, there is not one Linux distribution out there that's gonna fit 100% of the users. Not one. The thing is, if we can build Mate, right? If we can build Mate, why can't you? You do git clone, you change something in the packages, it's just a file, you put a hashtag in front of it or delete it, like ArcoLinux meta Steam, and Steam is on the ISO. You build the ISO by running script 30, you get an output called ArcoLinuxB Mate ISO, burn it on a USB, put it in your laptop, boot it, install it, done. Steam will be there, will be present. So the point is, with the B, use the scripts. We put a lot of time in it. Use the scripts, because you can make it your own personalized Mate in this case, right? We've chosen for Mate, there's lots to choose. So that's the B. Download it, build it, it's all good, but just know why the project is there. It's the B to build. And option D is using the ArcoLinuxD version, and D is beside the desktop. It's nothing. There is no desktop. It's the most minimal ISO there is. And it's you who decide to install the desktop using Calamares or not using Calamares and using scripts. Those are the 2 options available. And that's what this video is about. So, super F7. Let's delete my last one to keep it a little bit sane here. So we start with an ArcoLinuxD ISO and we decide to try out Mate. Okay, we have an optical drive that's gonna include ArcoLinuxD. This is an important tip, VBox SVGA, make sure it's there. Then the resolution will be correct. Control F. Maximize your screen, click on the first line. Issues with graphical drivers, use line 2. And then we wait for a super minimal desktop and a welcome screen. Well, welcome app actually. 3 big buttons. The button to update mirrors, but I've learned already via the videos that I better keep off. Osbeck is the winner in my case, so I won't touch that button. The other button is Gparted, which says let's clean everything out. I have a lot of partitions, a lot of elements up here, and then somebody asked here today again, hey, I have lots of partitions, what should I do? My advice is always the same. Do a clean install, get rid of everything, make sure you back up everything that you want, right? Often it's just about wallpapers or something like pictures, I don't know. But everything you say, oh no, I don't want to lose that, that's gonna go online, USB, external hard drive, something. So that's the Gparted, and run columns is of course what we want to have. That's our Linux distributor. There are so many Linux systems, operating systems that use columns, right? Choose a language, I'm good. About is for future reference. And next, off we go. You can make lots of decisions about kernels. I would suggest you go through it and see if it's going to work just like this. We're going to update the system anyway. You can decide services if you want to have sound, right? Maybe you like to have some sound. Just click it. I'm just going to skip it here and go for LightM as the standard. This is for us the standard display manager. You should click something here, right? Should have something here, otherwise, I don't know, never tried it. But this is your display manager, login manager. That says, who are you? America. What's your password? Okay, that thing. Okay, so better check one of them. And then we have Mate, right? You can combine some of them, but just keep Deeping as the only one. But combining one tiling manager with one desktop is just fine. Look what we do with the flagship, XFC, OpenBox i3, and that's working fine. So Mate, if you start to know more and more and more, you can decide to get less and less and less packages in. So make more decisions like do not want this one, and so on. So it can be very specific as long as you know what you're doing, right? And then software. The more software you select here, the longer it's going to install, the more patient you should be. That's the only message I want to convey. Belgian. Next. Erase disk. I've done about everything, even done a manual partition in LXQT. We could do another one if you want to, but normally I don't do that. I just take no swap often. I have 16 gigabytes of RAM. I never use RAM on my swap partition, so I never use the swap partition ever, even with all these applications open. Now, if you're a guy that says, I want to hibernate, so I have exactly the same applications open tomorrow morning, right? That's hibernating. Well, then yeah, sure, that's your thing. But again, I'm this guy that boots up in the morning, shuts down in the evening, and that's all a machine needs to do. Hibernating, I'll set everything up the next day and have a clean memory and a clean system again. Rebooting is, well, paramount. Sometimes you just need to reboot. A tip for the guys of Plasma, sometimes we get this tsunami of Plasma things in, right? If it's just 1 or 2 applications, probably okay. But if it's a big K list, often it starts with K, you need to reboot anyway. You can't hibernate. All right, so shall we take another difficult approach? Manual partitioning, lots of work, but hey, right. So there is no hard disk on my system. Oh, I'm stuck. No, you're not. New partition table. What kind of partition table do you want to create? It's an empty hard disk. So the hard disk I have in my virtual machine is the one you buy from a store. It's untouched, right? If it is not untouched, and if there is already something in there, you can decide either BIOS, MBR, or GPT UEFI. Now my virtual box is set to be a BIOS system. So I need to go to MBR. You need to set it in the beginning before you launch. Free space, yeah, sure. Okay, let's create something. Let's create a root and a home, right? I don't know. And swap is not necessary of 8 GB, so I say whatever swap. So I could make a 10, let's go for 10,000. Okay, numlock. Is it on my numlock? No. Alright. Can't seem to type numbers here. Okay, there we go. So 10,000, which is 10 GB, for what? And how do I encrypt it? How do I format it? The file system, right? X4 is cool, script, whatever. Not gonna do that. And we could do that for root. This could be root, this could be boot. Root boot. Fine. Which leaves us free space of 20 GB. And we create our home. So we have a drop down. We could have a boot and a home and an opt and all these guys. But I'm not into making things difficult. I really am not. So X4 encryption, no. Okay, fine. That's it. So a 10 GB, I don't know if that's enough. And lots of space for myself, right? And it's up to the system now to do its thing. Next. This text is not an artificial intelligence. It's just, it shows up every time you take a manual thing. You just read it. We're not having a GPT. We're having another one, right? MBR BIOS. And let's go for all this. Ooh, that's not my password. And then go back to our text. So let the machine do its work. You go back here. So what we've done is install the desktop using Calamares. Option 1. Click, 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 done. Make decisions and you get a minimal ArcoLinuxD with this desktop, and it's not gonna be an ArcoLinuxB. Never is. This is final. This is beautiful. This is the way it should look, right? The ArcoLinuxD is, you figure out how it should look, and you figure out what packages you want to have. The ArcoLinux packages, but also the ArcoLinuxD, the ArcoLinux packages in general, right? 134 to 35, I don't know. Let's have a look what the number is these days. So Arco, oh my god, come on. There you are. 156, right? 156 packages you can explore and think, do I need it, do I want it, and so on. How I would explore it is with updates. Software updates launches Pamic AUR. And Pamic AUR is a great graphical interface to browse your system, go to categories, go to repositories, go to ArcoLinux repo, and have a look. Okay, applications for ArcoLinux, Arc theme for KDE Plasma, Arc themes created for Arco's Better Lock Screen, and so on and so on. You try to, if this is not enough, right, you go inside a folder and have a look. Files. Okay, so it gives us a bin folder with all kind of things and some scripts to install Samba, network recovery, to fix Intel microcode, fix AMD, fun apps for screenshots, delete the LTS kernel, install the LTS kernel, right? And then you learn more about the application. Now, that was never said in any other videos, but hey, sharing knowledge. What we should talk about in this video is about option 2, right? We've done option 1, busy, fine. Option 2, is scrolling. We'll do option 1 and 2 in the system. But option 2 is actually just using and hopefully reusing scripts. We go to a particular URL, and there you find ArcoLinuxD, GitHub, ArcoMate, or Mate. I still say it after all these years. It's officially Mate, guys, but mate looked, well, it's right here in the heart. He's my mate. So, the scripts. You can download all these scripts, reuse all these scripts, because basically it is a simple way to do what you always do. Sudo pacman -s mate, right? But you have to type it. Mate extra, you have to type it. Mate tweak. What if I made a script and put it in here so I don't have to type it anymore? That's why we make scripts, right? To make it easy, faster. Next time it will go easier. But now I have to type everything. And then you run a script. So if you don't like to have Mate extra in here, you just delete this, because it's a list that's going to loop for done, right? And this is our shell. It says so, copying all files and folders from etc shell to home directory. You should know that this little sign, the tilde, is the home directory. Then we're going to enable the light here, and we don't want to stick into something black. We want to enable graphical things, icons, wallpapers, right? Beautiful. And it keeps on going, and the text often makes it very clear. Install the sound, the Bluetooth, the printer, Samba. So we did not use Calamares here to install sound. Oops, we forgot it. No problem. Just run this thing and you have sound. You have Bluetooth, printer. So it's all here. The knowledge is concentrated on our GitHubs. And if you at some point in time, well, point is, it says so, run from 100 till run script 100 and reboot to get an ArcoLinux feel. That's one thing you can try out, which means it's still not an, it's still an ArcoLinux feel, and it's not gonna be our feel. This is the ArcoLinux heart and soul and look and feel that we like and love. OpenBox is there and so on. But OpenBox looks like this. This is ArcoLinux, right? Which is fun because it allows you, again, like to have a square of this red square from Lego, right? And then build up whatever you like, extra blocks and extra packages and extra applications and configurations, and you just go ahead and have fun. Explore the desktop. All right, so following scripts, reusing scripts, okay, I can reboot, is option number 2, which is fun as well, but it needs more time, right? It's ArcoLinuxB will be just boom, working. ArcoLinuxD can be educational. Line 3, booting up. And then we are in a black screen. Is that correct? Go and have a look at the article. You end in a black login screen. True. Oops, that's not gonna work. Let's type in the password anyway. All right. We're at kernel 5.9.1. We all know, or I know, at this point in time, it's 5.9.8, which means lots of updates to be done. Now, updating means getting stuff from the internet, and there are different speeds on different servers, right? I could get a server in China or Taiwan or Australia and wait like forever to get all the packages of ArcoLinux in. But I know this Osbeck thing, the first one, is a good one. So I will not type mirror, which I could, to update this list. So I'm not gonna do that. I'm just gonna go for updates, which it says in the article there. And you see the speed I'm having, around 40, right? 41, 40, 41, 40, 39, 38. I mean, it's done, it's in. It's already in. And I'm checking some keys, and off it goes, installing all the packages we require. This is not really the time to walk away. read what you're going to install, I see their line upgrading Linux 26-69. It's more or less in the middle. Linux, right? It means there's a new kernel coming in. It means I need to update, well, reboot the system. Updating is done now, but I need to reboot the system. I will have time to read it right about now. Building image from preset. Make init CPIO D Linux preset. Linux-LTS preset. Linux-Zen. Linux-hardened. What am I saying? I'm enumerating the different Linux kernels that ArcoLinux gives us. Standard, right? Sudo pacman -s Linux-LTS. There's also a script in the will do exactly that. And the LTS stands for long-term support. You can do a quick search on the browser now, archwiki linux-lts or archwiki kernel, right? And read the text, because let's not forget there is a world of knowledge on the archwiki, and we've all read it, and so should you, and become a master in Linux and get this feel that, hey, ArcoLinux or ArcoLinux is the operating system to go, because you get to know it all in detail if you want to. And otherwise you just use a browser, listen to Spotify, and sync your things with Dropbox too. All right. I would like to have a graphical thing next time. So the system doesn't know, did you install this one? Did you install LXDM? Ooh, something happens when I type sometimes. Here's the keyboard. Getting tired. So no, I need to have LightDM service, right? So if you see this line, cool, you're in the clear. Then it says, do you want to have Scala or not? And the advice is, if you have a tiling window manager, do it, right? Mate is not a tiling window manager. So I'm not gonna Scala, which gives me a view of ArcoLinux. This is what you get if you go to phase 5, which is also maybe an interesting point to tell you guys. We have a learning path, and phase 5 is going to ArcoLinux. Older computers, newer computers, phase 2, phase 3, choose a desktop, boom, 20 desktops to choose from, right? And then you get this. You have an ArcoLinux, and you have this look. And then I say, oh my God, this is so old school, right? But it's up to you to go to preferences, to look and feel, to appearances, and off you go. Arc Dark, customize. All right, window border, Arc Dark, cool. Icons, Mate Faenza, why not? Okay, Mate Faenza. This is it. Or install more, or there is more. All right, let's go to Surfing maybe. Surfing Orange. Okay, close, close, close. Off you go, and you have something like this. You want to have the control center and have a look. Okay, this is what you have with a few clicks. Well, the wallpaper is rubbish. All right, so change the desktop preferences, choose one of the others, or add hours. So the backgrounds, ArcoLinux, open, and there are probably, there's just one. So it's not a folder you open, it's backgrounds, ArcoLinux, Control A, open. All right, so here's our shore. Yes, Control A is working, and we have a nice look. In a few clicks time, you have something nice. And that's the point always, right? No operating system, Windows and Mac included, is nice for 100% of the users. We want to change things, and Windows and Mac won't let us change much, right? But anything you see can be changed, anything, and that's the fun. All right, so this is your Mate system. This is not ArcoLinux system, but it could still be very much an termite, an ArcoLinux thing if we do a scan, right? There is a lot of files hidden inside etc scan. And that's what we do. We copy paste. Let's make this a little bit bigger. We copy paste the last bit here. Copy paste -rf etc scal, everything in there to the home directory. What happens? Let's get out of here. I've done a copy. Log out Eric. Hopefully that's enough. Otherwise I have to reboot. So this is what we have. All right. We have indeed already a pop-up, and this is, well, our choice is more or less similar here, but we have a lot of keyboard shortcuts. I just press Super Shift Enter. So keyboard shortcuts are not in here. Sound, by the way, I'm not sure if that's in, but it depends on the dependencies. If you type sudo pacman -s mate, right? And again, this is all about choice, and ArcoLinux took away that choice, but hey, I totally understand why, you know. ArcoLinux mate group. Here it is, group details. If I type in sudo pacman mate sudo pacman -s mate, I'm actually doing, a lot more. Getting in Caja, File Manager, and getting in Marco, Window Manager, and getting in Backgrounds, Control Center, Desktops, and you just read on. And there is something else called Mate Extra, and we use these two groups, which makes it easy for us, and that's why ArcoLinux does it. That's why we do it, right? It's easy because it's a lot of things. But this, if you say, no, I don't want to have this, then you are probably the guy that says, please give me option 2 and use scripts. And in that script, you decide to install Caja Open Terminal, but not Caja Send To. And Caja Share, you're never sharing anything, not share. The wallpaper, you couldn't care less about the wallpaper, and so on, right? You just handpick everything out of this group. And that's your option 2. All right, that's been said. Let's fake that we do not have anything yet and do a option 2. Option 2, the only thing I need to show you guys is right Control A. I'm going to TTY. That would be the effect that you end up in a black screen, right? Again, the update in the mirror, which you've seen, and then just type a sentence. Git clone from github.com/ArcoLinuxD is the ISO you started with. Which thing do you like to have? XFCE? No, it was Plasma. No, it was Mate. As simple as that. So 20 desktops to choose from. Type it behind it. CD into Arco Mate and start running scripts. A point, a slash, 100. Well, my numlock should be on. Oh my god, troubles with my numlock. And everything is green. Nothing can go wrong if you run these things twice. It just says the package LightYam is already installed. And of course it's installed. We've seen it, right? It's there. And everything is there, but not everything maybe. So you type in Eric and it says skipping, which means everything is installed. Everything is cool. ls again. For instance, the sound. Is the sound installed? I don't know. Is that a dependency? Well, here you go. All the packages are not installed. Pulse Audio is here. So no, sound was not a dependency. If we typed in sudo pacman -s mate, it's not there. But maybe when you type Plasma, I will make the video later, it's going to include sound. So it's still very much a Lego box kind of thing, a Sherlock Holmes kind of thing, figuring out what do I need, what do I want, do I have Bluetooth? Do I need Bluetooth? No, I don't have Bluetooth. No headsets. Okay, fine, no headsets. And if you installed something about sound, it definitely needs to reboot so the pulse audio can kick in. All right, and off we go. Again, we boot up, we have Mate available, and more you make Mate your own. Off you go. Don't want this, don't want that. Here's some ArcoLinuxD. That's still in there, right? Eject. Boom. More and more it becomes my system, the way I see. And the way I see it, right? Rising your system. Ctrl-Alt-U. Voila, Pulse Audio is there. This is PAVU control, that's the word you should remember. I press Ctrl-Alt-T. He wants to know what I would like to use. I would like to use Termite, thank you very much. Okay, that's cool. And I have Termite. So, PAVU control, it's actually an application. That's the application to start it, right? And then you say input device, my microphone, output device, Bluetooth maybe, and so on. Here is one way of well, setting everything up. All right, that concludes our video, guys. Have fun and using ArcoLinux, the D, the B, or maybe a quick one. Yeah, a quick one. Or the tweak tool, right? Don't forget, you have your Mate ready and say, oh, great. And then somebody says, hey, Eric, you have made, well, actually Coritani has made DWM. All right, let's try it out. You counted the seconds, it's installed. You have a new logout, Eric. You have a new desktop on your system. Really? Really? Is that simple? Yep. There you go. Have fun with DWM. All right. Bye, guys.